The battle continues May 1st at the second stop on the PSP Tour, so mark your calendars and sign up your team to take the field at the 2015 PSP Nashville Open. Watch all the action going down and broadcast live May 1st through the 3rd on psbevents.com.
They say paintball is 90% mental. The mental aspect of our sport goes far beyond game plans and visualization. Now more than ever, Empire provides an unmatched support system for you both on and off the field. Having this level of support allows you to focus on the things that you need to go out there and get the job done. The Empire All-In Sponsorship Program. Thousands of players, hundreds of teams, one family, one support system.
Division. Can't wait to see this game, man. Infamous returning champs here. They won this event last year, then struggled for the rest of the season. They are very hungry to try to get back to the top of professional paintball. Houston Heat, revamped lineup. They are arguably best lineup on the entire sport, and they fought long and hard to get here. So, Todd, this is going to be a good one. This game brought to you by Empire Paintball. So, Todd, Houston Heat, LA Infamous. I know you used to coach Infamous, so you're pulling for your old school boys. But Houston Heat, very tough challenge in front of Los Angeles Infamous right now.
Yeah, definitely. You know, they got all the Moscow Red Legion players, a.k.a. Art Chaos players out there on Houston Heat now. And, you know, some other good players. So let's see. This one's going to be a battle. Can't wait to see what's going to happen. Brad McCurley getting shot early on the break. Looks like that is the only body to drop. Malloy up there in the center, coming up into that second can on the snake side. Mishka, he takes a shot out of that Dorito 1, so bodies even right now on both sides of the field.
Yeah, Chad George fighting, trying to get in the snake over here on your screen, shooting down towards that sideline. And Malloy was also shooting this way as well, but now he switches his gun towards the D side of the field, even up on the body count. Better field position in the center right now with Malloy for Houston Heat. Fedorov and Sewers also out there as well for Houston Heat. A minute has elapsed.
For LA Infamous, you got Damian Ryan up in that Dorito side center can. Callie Rudolph mirrored up with Greg Sewers in that mini race bunker on the Dorito side. Corey Bornstein in the back center, and Alex Goldman in the snake side corner for LA Infamous. Chad George, a little bit better field position, threatening to get into the snake. Looks like he might be having a little bit of gun trouble right now.
Yeah, he's starting to do
loader trouble.
Doing surgery right now. But still with his gun up is Malloy in the center. Yep. There's finally getting it going. Chad George testing it out, checks off, brings his gun back out, establishes his line, and then gets up on his knees, starts looking for that move. You can tell by his body language, he wants to get to that snake. He's gunfighting out of there, and he's trying to make sure that this guy on your screen right now, Corey Bornstein, does not have his big gun his way. But Corey in that back center, back and forth, now looking to the side, head checking that way, establishes a line, and then Konstantin Fedorov makes a move towards that side. So Heat stacking up bodies on that D side now, Todd. And then now Malloy makes a move and trips and falls. Almost gets clipped, but he gets it in there alive.
Yeah, he does get in there. Callie Rudolph making a move up the Dorito side, and Malloy's going to get peeled off. I think he might have got shot by Alex Goldman, but that allows Chad George to get up into the snake on the confusion. Callie Rudolph looks like he might have gotten a bounce. He's still alive. Damian Ryan gets shot. Callie Rudolph, that ball broke. He's going to get pulled.
And now
Greg Sewers, he gets caught slipping over on the Dorito side. So now it's a 2-on-1, but Alex Goldman's going to get Chad George, but then get clipped in the pack. He was the last body alive, and he is going to get pulled.
Yeah, he's gonna get pulled. Well, we'll see. I don't know. They might wipe him off. And Alex Goldman.
Looks like Alex Goldman dodged all those balls.
So Alex
diving into the snake. Alex Goldman in a 2-on-1 situation makes the move down the wire, bunkers out Chad George, and then shoots Konstantin Fedorov running at him.
What a huge move for Alex Goldman to save that point for Los Angeles Infamous and put one on the board. And it was not looking good initially there for Infamous, as looks like Alexander Bernikov made it in there in the center. He got shot though. And then Chad George made his. It was just Alex Goldman. That's why they picked up Alex Goldman, so he could make that move in the clutch situation and put the first point on the board. So advantage Infamous. Houston Heat gonna have to go back to the drawing board here. You can see in their pits. That's Sam Monville. Been there since the beginning of the team. Putting some air in his gun, getting ready to go. Minute and 17 seconds for the start of this next point. What a chaotic point that was too, Todd. Bodies dropping from both sides early on. And when you look at this game matchup on paper, very evenly matched teams. And, and especially because Infamous played very, very well to get to this point. I see that clutch bar. You kind of have to take. After Infamous's stumbles in the middle of last season, you got to take their clutch bar back down a little bit. But the tournaments where they did do well, they did show good clutch ability. All those, the big one-on-one victory that Zach Wake had, and also Zach Wake's performance as he was the MVP of this game last year. So we'll see.
Hey, just like it's hard to be able to get to the level where you can compete consistently in this league, it's the same struggle to be able to go to those big games and win those big games. You have to work your way up to be able to get yourself to those big games, and then when you start making it up there consistently, to be able to knock off good teams. And, you know, Infamous and Dynasty have been battling for a long time, and finally Infamous able to come out and beat Dynasty out here and get themselves another trip to the finals. They did it last year. Doing it again. There's Fedorov. There's that last exchange between Fedorov and Goldman.
Yeah, and you can't really see Goldman there on your screen, but man, you could see it from that other angle. Again, hats off to Alex Goldman to put Infamous on the board. So he's going to take a seat. Zach Wake, Bobby Aviles, Drew Templeton, and Zach Patient, and Trevor Reeser out to play.
Looks like Trevor Reeser just shot Chad George in the side of the head. He's in there asking for a check right now. Ball may have bounced. Referee checking him out. He's clean. Sergei Sholnishkov goes running up the middle. Looked like he got a shot in, but no, everybody clean on the Dorito side for LA Infamous.
You're looking at Infamous on your screen, making moves towards that D side of the field. There's Drew Templeton. He dodges the stream, getting in there, refills his gun, and he's going to now look towards that sideline. You can see, though, he wants to make moves. He starts talking it up. There's Bobby Aviles. We're looking at the angle from the start box on Infamous' side of the field. Oh, Bobby wanted to go snake side, but then decided to stick in there. Looks like Monville catches one. Or no, sorry, Chad George.
Yep, and Zach Wake getting in the snake. He's not going to have anybody on his side of the field. Sergey starts to retreat. Bobby Aviles and Zach Wake, I think he came out and got a shot on Malloy. So now Zach Wake starting to clock in and go to work. Reeser, Templeton, and Zach Patient over there on the Dorito side for LA Infamous.
Todd, just 3 bodies left alive for Houston Heat, but Los Angeles Infamous still has their full complement of players. However, I think they are about to lose. Trevor Reeser, they do. You saw the referee walking over there.
Yeah, Reeser gets shot out from Greg Sewers, who jumped up into the 40 Dorito. He and Fedorov mounting a push over there for Houston Heat. Zach Patient getting shot out of the back corner. So now Houston Heat with the advantage on the Dorito side. LA Infamous with the advantage on the Snake side. Drew Templeton, the last body over there. Zach Wake getting held down by Sergei Solnishkov, who backed up into that tower in the center.
And Todd, you can see there on the screen, there's Sergei looking towards the Snake side, trying to keep Zach Wake honest. Bobby Aviles and Zach Wake, though, by their body language, you can tell they're very anxious to try to move down the field, look for those angles. There goes Bobby. He makes his move to back up Wake.
Yeah, you can see from that angle that Sergei is just waiting for Zach Wake to try and cross through that zone. Zach Wake been playing the Snake. He's got Bobby behind him. Drew Templeton fighting fiercely with Fedorov.
And looks like Drew Templeton gets shot, though, on that side on that D side of the field, which is going to put Bobby Aviles and Zach Wake in a pretty bad spot over here. They're the only 2 players left alive for Los Angeles Infamous. So look for Bobby Aviles to put his gun. Now he switches towards, I was going to say, somebody needs to shoot towards that Dorito side of the field.
Yep, Zach Wake finally going to put in Sergey. Bobby Aviles going to make a move up the middle. And Sergey gets shot. Bobby Aviles and Zach Wake taking on Sewers. Sewers crosses onto Infamous' side of the field.
Todd, the field completely switched now. As Infamous all on the Snake side, the 2 players left alive for Houston Heat, Fedorov and Sewers, are over there on the D side of the field.
Greg Sewers trying to get a shot in on Bobby Aviles. Bobby Aviles can't hide. He gets shot. Zach Wake attacking. And Fedorov going to get a shot in on Zach Wake as he tried to come back and play defense at Greg Sewers. But not going to be enough as Fedorov and Sewers over there had a little bit better field position.
Todd, 3-pack for Konstantin Fedorov. We just saw in that first point, Alex Goldman stepping up. Big players have big games. He was able to win that point for Infamous. And then now on the flip side, Konstantin Fedorov getting a bunch of kills here to solidify Houston Heat's point. It is now tied up at 1 apiece with 13:54 to go. So both these teams have very deep rosters, and that was one of the things I was interested to see as we moved on in this tournament, as we got to the finals. You know, that's the age-old paintball question. If you have a deep roster, do you go with 2 lines or do you go with the starting 5? So as we get more and more into this match, we're going to find out who are the guys that these teams are going to send out there. You see Konstantin Fedorov clean his gun, walking off. 29 confirmed kills for him here and 28 points played throughout this event. Awesome numbers for Konstantin Fedorov.
Yep, there he is. Walking on the field right now. Definitely one of my favorite players to watch out there. Always an exciting, dynamic player. But right now, Houston Heat sending in Smith, Moorhead. Looks like Taylor, Monville. There you see LA Infamous on your screen. That's Brad McCurley, Damian Ryan, Callie Rudolph, Alex Goldman coming back out, and of course Corey Bornstein. Corey Bornstein having an event for LA Infamous as well.
And we've noticed, Todd, that throughout this event, well, we've seen the game plans change for these teams because of the condition of the field. We had that downpour all week long before the event. Then on Friday morning, it rained all day pretty much through the morning. It got a little bit less as the day progressed, but still what happened was it turned the field into a mud bog. And instead of just being slippery, the mud got deeper and deeper, and now the action has shifted mostly towards the center and that D side of the field, though we did watch Alex Goldman make moves in that first point here, Snake side. So question is, as we get deeper into this match, are we going to see what we've been seeing all day today with more of the action flooding up the center, or are these teams going to start using the option of the Snake again?
There you see Houston Heat lining up to go heavy towards the Dorito side. They head out to the corner. Mishka gets shot in the head, 2 steps out. So does Ryan Smith.
Yeah, not looking good right now for Houston Heat, but for Los Angeles Infamous, Brad McCurley, major penalty. So 2 minutes is going to go on that penalty clock.
Yeah, but lots of bodies walk off for Houston Heat as Thomas Taylor finds himself by himself over there in the Snake side corner as Alex Goldman clocks in and goes to work. But, I mean, right now, major penalty with a lot of time left on it.
Smart job by Houston Heat, though, seeing that penalty and all those bodies walking off. As soon as they realized that this point was done, they had no chance. Thomas Taylor had a very slim chance of taking out the 4 remaining Infamous players. So what do? They concede the point, which preserves that major penalty that Brad McCurley got in that point. So what's going to happen is Infamous is going to be starting down a body. McCurley will be in the box for a pretty solid 2 minutes, and that's going to put Houston Heat on a power play. So down 1. It's going to give them that 20% advantage. You lose 20% of your firepower when you have somebody in the box. So looking at the event kill count leaders here as we're watching the last match of the tournament. 35 games we've watched played so far. And Matt Derula, wow, that's huge. Upton 187 crew came to play some paintball. They have Max Traylor and Matt Derula both in the top 5 for kill count leaders. Alex Rodriguez from Dynasty, Ryan Greenspan, Dynasty, got knocked out in the semifinals by Infamous. And then Max Traylor 4th, and Corey Bornstein playing for Infamous, 33 kills. So Matt Derula stepping up huge.
Yeah, and again, not really getting much attention, but Corey Bornstein out there right now on the field The only player of that group that's still playing paintball today, Corey Bornstein, with 33 kills in 30 points played and far fewer deaths, only 11 deaths compared to the 20s and 30s up there across that board. So LA Infamous right now with a 2-1 lead over Houston Heat.
They said Callie Rudolph, Templeton, Ryan, and Goldman out to play this next point. Goldman, the kill count leader for Infamous in this game. 3 confirmed for him. Off the break, Houston Heat, 5 players alive, pushing 2 into the center, but they lose Malloy. So Malloy coming off, so that's going to even up the body count. It's just Sewers, Chad George, Fedorov, and Sergey left out there right now.
Callie, Drew, Damien, and Mouse. As Drew gets shot trying to make a bump up the field. Greg Sewers, he makes a bump up to the Dorito too, but Sergey gets shot in the head as he tries to come across to get into the Dorito. There's Callie Rudolph on your screen, looking across the field towards the snake side. Chad George crawls into snake 1 for Houston Heat.
Yeah, so good move by Chad George off the chaos, and those bodies started dropping. Chad George able to get into snake 1.
3 bodies alive over here for Houston Heat. Fedorov, Sewers, and Chad George. 3 bodies on the field alive right now. Callie, Damien, and Mouse. As Mouse comes out of the corner,
and
looks like he might have taken a bounce.
And Todd
going into snake 1.
And still less than a minute now on that Brad McCurley penalty. So wonder which side he's going to go. Is he going to go snake side and help Mouse out, or is he going to go towards the D side? That will give Infamous 4 bodies to Houston Heat's 3, unless Houston Heat can find a way to shoot that box.
So Damian Ryan in the back center. Alex Goldman here in snake 1, trying to get a shot in as Konstantin Fedorov retreats from the Dorito side back to the back center. Infamous still burning time off that penalty, 27 seconds left to go. There you see the snake matchup with Chad George and Alex Goldman. Goldman coming over the top, trying to get kills. You hear a little bit of noise from the crowd because Greg Sewers tried to make a move into the 50 and get shot out on the Dorito side. Nobody on the Dorito side now for Houston Heat. And in 10 seconds, Infamous is going to get Brad McCurley out of the box.
Chad George making his move into snake 2, matching up down the sidelines, puts in Alex Goldman. This is the snake gunfight right now, and then here comes Brad McCurley out of the box, chooses to go to the D side, and then off that move, Callie gives a look back to see if Brad McCurley is alive, and Brad McCurley able to make it out there, so 4 bodies alive for Infamous.
And Houston Heat gonna blow that horn and concede the point as LA Infamous able to burn that whole penalty off and score the point, so they're gonna go up 3-1 right now. Man, really tense points out here, Matty, right now. I don't know if you guys can feel it, but
Infamous wants to win this event. They were very disappointed in how things went for them last year after their win in Dallas, and they picked up Alex Goldman, they picked up Trevor Reeser. They have a renewed hunger to try to be the best again. So does Houston Heat, though, but Houston Heat just not good enough so far through the 4 points that we have seen. Houston Heat 1, Los Angeles Infamous 3, 11 minutes and 31 seconds to go. We're getting a look in the pits. There's Damian Ryan getting suited up with some more pods. And we're going to be right back after this. More of this championship matchup. Stick with us.
It's 90% mental. The mental aspect of our sport goes far beyond game plans and visualization. Now more than ever, Empire provides an unmatched support system for you both on and off the field. Having this level of support allows you to focus on the things that you need to go out there and get the job done. The Empire All-In Sponsorship Program. Thousands of players, hundreds of teams, one family, one support system.
Looking at Infamous on the breakout, 5 strong. Curly able to get out of that box.
Oh, looks like
they won that point.
Sorry, Callie Rudolph looks like he got shot in the pack, running out to that Dorito side. Yes, he's going to walk off the field. Here comes Brad McCurley as Chad George and Konstantin Fedorov get shot on the break, both off the D side.
But Todd, looks like Alex Goldman also walking off here. So bodies dropping for both teams. It's 3-on-3 right now.
Mishka up in that center can. Sergey in the back. I think that's Greg Sewers over there in the Dorito side corner. Damian Ryan standing up at the Xbox.
Uh-oh, referee running in to check out Infamous in the center. Looks like he's clean, so the 3 players left alive for both these teams stuck in the center. Better field position, though, with Brad McCurley here for Infamous as he's out a little wide. There's Damian Ryan on your screen, up there really far in the center. Not quite to the 50-yard line, though, but better field position still than Mishka for Houston Heat, who is the center player farthest up for Houston Heat.
Yeah, and Corey Bornstein able to fill out from the back center. Been doing that really well all event, getting out to that mini race. Greg Sewers jumping up into the mini Dorito. Here comes Damian Ryan. He's going to be up in the right side of the A on the snake side, and he's going to chew up Sergey as Sergey tries to make a bump out to the Dorito side, and then he's going to launch through the middle. He's going to trade out with Mishka. Just one body. It's Greg Sewers running down the field. He's going to trade out with Corey Bornstein, so just Brad McCurley left on the field.
Yeah, Brad McCurley, the lone survivor here for Los Angeles Infamous. And that's all it takes, though. Just keep one alive. And we're going to probably see more of that with these 2 evenly matched squads battling it out. But, you know, we talked about how evenly matched these teams were. But when you look at that lineup from Houston Heat, you expect maybe, okay, maybe they should win this tournament. Or maybe Infamous would. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter on paper. That we shoot the paintballs at each other for a reason so we can determine who's the best. Right now, Infamous through 5 points, proving the better team. 4-1 is the score. 10:09 to go. 4 confirmed kills for Damian Ryan, 5 for Alex Goldman, and it looks like 3 for both Corey Bornstein and Kevin Cali-Rudolph.
Yeah, Maddie, it's going to take 7 to win this game, though, probably. 10 minutes left to go. LA Infamous working hard out here, trying to give themselves a lead, close this game out. But anything is possible out here. That's what makes this game exciting. We're in the Infamous pit over here. That's Damian Ryan, who just had a game for LA Infamous.
Infamous just refusing to break. Look at Damian Ryan. Even though it was 3-on-3, he was the aggressor. He moved up to that center, took some ground, and then was able to come through, create a little diversion. You could see there as even though a big move was made down the Dorito side by Houston Heat, Brad McCurley able to stay alive, do damage control, and be the lone survivor to grab that flag. There's Damian Ryan for Los Angeles Infamous getting a look in the pits here. It's very difficult for these teams with the muddy conditions to have that 2-minute turnaround. You only have 2 minutes in between points to come back, get more paint, more air, get wiped off, and get ready to play the next one.
So Infamous now going to be sending out Patient, Templeton, Reeser, Aviles, and Wake. There's Brad McCurley on your screen right now.
So as McCurley gets ready for this next one, we are going to take a quick break. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back here, 2015 PSP Dallas Open. I'm Matty Marshall with Todd Martinez. Houston Heat needs to step it up right now because they are losing by 3 to Los Angeles Infamous. Infamous, if they can keep this going, they will repeat as Dallas Open champions 2 years in a row. 10 minutes and 9 seconds remain and about 27 seconds before the start of this next point.
Yeah, Matty, and Houston Heat's coming with that same squad again. Sergey, Fedorov, Sewers. Looks like we got Mishka and Chad George. Coming out for LA Infamous, Patient, Templeton, Aviles, Wake, and Reeser.
Infamous on your right. Heat on your left. Here we go. off the break. Heavy guns in the center for Infamous, and it looks like trying to get out wide is Houston Heat, but they lose. Mishka up the center.
One body down. Infamous with the advantage. I think Drew Templeton caught Mishka coming up the center of that field, going to that center tower, shooting towards the inside. And that's going to put Sergey right there in the middle. A little bit of a disadvantage. He's going to have to play both ways right now. There's Drew Templeton and Sergey's mirror, both shooting towards the Dorito side. Trevor Reeser at that can right next to Templeton, standing up tall, shooting towards the snake, trying to keep Chad George from making any moves on the snake side. Zach Wake getting out alive
looks
to
like
the
a
snake corner.
But Todd body dropping here for Infamous, as it looks like that is Patient. Yeah, Zach Patient coming off on that D side of the field. So it's evened up on the body count, 4-on-4 right now. And tough to tell, really. It was better field position, Todd. I think that it's pretty even here.
Well, with Wake out here in the corner, Bobby Aviles comes out of the back center, and he gets into the snake side temple. The real attack has been coming from Greg Sewers over there on the Dorito side, but Drew Templeton in a good position to keep him in that corner. Sergey stands up, and he goes into the can. Bobby Aviles makes a big move all the way around the second snake temple and dives into the snake, but Drew Templeton dies. So somebody's going to have to protect Trevor Reeser's back. Greg Sewers comes running. He's going to jump into the 50 Dorito.
Yeah, but here comes Damian Ryan. Tries to make a move in the center, but gets chewed up. So Houston Heat looking pretty solid right here, as they only have 2 bodies that they need to worry about, Zach Wake and Bobby Aviles. Wake gets taken out, so here comes Houston Heat to pull within 2.
Yeah, and that was Greg Sewers over there making that big move up into the 50 Dorito, shoots Reeser in the back, and then forces Zach Wake to have to deal with him. Comes around, and I believe he shot Bobby Aviles as well out of Snake 1. So I think Trevor started to feel the pressure, started to cut up the middle, and got his back blown apart by Reeser, or by Sewers. Greg, realizing that Zach Patient had died out of that corner. Once Drew Templeton died, Drew Templeton was the only gun that was over there looking that way. And just made a big move out of the corner, came up, slowly bumped his way up to that 50 Dorito, and then started going to work.
It just came down to Heat playing better out of their bunkers in that spot. Too many early deaths there for Los Angeles Infamous. And here are the event fantasy score leaders. Matt Derula killing it, #1. He also killed it on the kill count. Alex Goldman, Damian Ryan, and Brad McCurley, all from Infamous, making the top 5. And then the always solid Ryan Greenspan, who had a very good event for San Diego Dynasty. So hope you guys had one of these 5 players, or hopefully a couple of them on your fantasy squad. So Todd, in that last point there, we saw Infamous give a little bit. They lost a couple early bodies. They were out farther wide here, snake side. Houston Heat was out farther wide on the D side, but it wasn't really field position that dictated that particular point. It was just too many bodies dropping for Infamous.
Yeah, I mean, like Greg said earlier, they really like pushing that Dorito side. They feel it's a really fast side, and the first body to come off for them. They had great field position over here on the snake side. Zach Patient dying out of that Dorito side mini race bunker, was really the difference, because then Sergey could come up in the middle and really help put the pressure on Drew Templeton. And so, every time Callie Rudolph has gotten in there, he's been doing a good job of staying alive. But Zach Patient, first one to die. Corey Bornstein has been able to fill that several times throughout this tournament, but no body in the back center as Bobby swung out here towards the snake side. So we'll see how Infamous plays it here, see what Houston Heat tries to bring.
On the breakout here, Houston Heat keeping those bodies in the center, not risking anybody. But on the flip side, Los Angeles Infamous, they send Mouse all the way to the snake off the break, but they lose 2 bodies, Todd. They lose Callie Rudolph and Damian Ryan in the center.
Yeah.
So they're playing down on their heels.
Yeah, already on their heels. Greg Sewers, he gets shot, though, for Houston Heat. But Corey Bornstein, he's dealing over here towards the snake side. Alex Goldman's alive in the center. Chad George, he's in the first temple on the snake side. Sergey up in the middle. Mishka, he's in the Dorito 1. So he's looking towards the snake side.
So if the push comes up the D side, which is probably going to come for Houston Heat, you're looking at the line for Houston Heat on your screen right now. 4 players alive for them, only 3 for Infamous, and they are all on the snake side of the field. So that's going to turn the tables a little bit and allow Houston Heat a little bit more breathing room, because they don't have to worry about anyone necessarily down that sideline on the D side. So back center is hot for Infamous, and they also have, again, Goldman in Snake 1. And there's Brad McCurley on your screen right now trying to slow the advance of Houston Heat on that D side.
Yep. And Fedorov was in the middle just pounding Alex Goldman's bunker, but he moved over to that pin to try and get a shot in on Fedorov. Fedorov now going to back up.
Ooh, this is a risky play for Fedorov. He almost got shot already, but he's going to use that to get out wide, so it ended up working for him. And you see there's not a lot of players that have the field vision to be able to do that sort of thing. So living on the edge, but making it out wide, trying to spread the field and help out his other player over there on that D side.
Yeah, and time coming off the clock here, Maddie. 6 minutes, 6.5 minutes left to go in this game. Infamous down one body. They have Corey Bornstein over there in the back center with Brad McCurley in the temple and Alex Goldman here in the snake. Fedorov able to spread the field wide, getting over there. You see the 3 Russians still alive across on the other side of the field. Chad George, he makes his bump into the snake, so now he's going to mirror up with Alex Goldman and have to make him worry about him just a little bit.
Well, Todd, time definitely becoming an issue because, look, down by 2. If Heat doesn't win this point, they'll be down by 3, so... But Heat has a one-body advantage. This is a must-win situation for Houston Heat now that we've cracked the 6-minute mark, and it's definitely going to help as Brad McCurley gets peeled off, and so does Bobby, who's that in the back center? Corey Bornstein. So Corey Bornstein and Brad come off, leaving just Alex Goldman to try to take as much time off this clock as possible, but it looks like Houston Heat, unless Alex can pull off something crazy, is going to pull within 1 here, Todd.
Yeah, and Chad George, he's coming down the snake, and Alex Goldman is going to get shot and just not have enough. And Fedorov, Chad George, and Sergei Solnyshkov able to pull another one out for Houston Heat. So Houston Heat slowly climbing back in this game, Maddie. 1-point game now, 5 minutes left to go.
You know who's having an amazing game for Houston Heat is Greg Sewers. 8 confirmed kills for Greg over there on that D side of the field. So the quiet killer making an impact here, which is definitely helping out. Konstantin Fedorov, 6 confirmed kills for him. Sergey, 5. Mishka, 3. And Chad George been real. It's tough over here again on the snake side of the field. 1 confirmed kill for Chad George. But the most important stat of all is that Houston Heat is now just 1 point away from tying this game up against Los Angeles Infamous here. Score 4-3 with just about 5 minutes to play. 5:02 on the clock. Looking in the pits right now, there's Sergei Solnyshkov and then Ryan Smith and Ryan Moorhead. Let's listen in real quick.
Chad George is down, Fedorov.
Why?
What?
He's not ready. Go. Down this one.
Hey, you have to play the spot, okay? Hey, brother. Yeah, I'm good.
So calm and composed mostly in the pits there. It sounded like Chad George was down, said he wasn't ready, so I don't know if we're going to see Chad out for this next one.
Hey.
It's highly doubtful.
So
he said he's down. I don't think he's going to be able to get in there.
Yeah, so tense moments here. Exactly what we thought we'd see from these two teams here, Todd. Still 1-point lead for Los Angeles Infamous. Mouse, the new pickup for them, coming over from the Ironman in the offseason, playing outstanding for him at this event and also in this game.
Yeah, I mean, we saw number 2 Fantasy, but, I mean, that doesn't even explain the type of moves that he's making out here right now. Just ridiculous saving games, winning points, getting 3 and 4 packs for LA Infamous. Huge pickup for them. Definitely proving very valuable right now.
Yeah, so the question is, can Infamous stave off the attack for Houston Heat? We're probably going to see potentially another long point, but you always can tell when a point could run long is when you get 5 bodies out alive. So Houston Heat really going to try to work those off-the-break shots to give them an advantage on the body count early on here in this point. And it's going to be Mishka, Malloy, and Sergey probably trying to get those off-the-break shots. In the center, yep, 3 guns up and 2 runners. So those 3 people we just mentioned, there's Sergey that goes up into the center, and it doesn't look like any bodies have dropped yet for Infamous, but Kali Rudolph is way out in the open, just like Fedorov was, and he's able to stay alive. So it looks like 5 bodies alive for both teams here, and 2 in that back center for Houston Heat, rolling those guns, trying to keep Infamous from advancing up the field. But it's Houston Heat that needs to advance up the field or start winning gunfights. One of the 2.
Yep, there you see Fedorov. There's Mishka and Biernikov now in the game.
Oh, Kali Rudolph, the first to drop for Los Angeles Infamous. He was living on the edge over there on the D side of the field and ended up costing him and his team. So Kali comes off early now, and he was shot by Mishka. So Damian Ryan, Goldman, McCurley, and Bornstein left to get it done here and preserve this 1-point lead as Houston Heat starts making their moves in the center and on that D side.
Yeah, Houston Heat right now with the 4 Russians on the field and Greg Sewers pushing hard up that Dorito side. But Damian Ryan in the middle looking for bodies. There you see Biernikov and Fedorov for Houston Heat. Here's the lineup. That's Alex Goldman, Brad McCurley, Corey Bornstein, and Damian Ryan for LA Infamous. That's Sergei Solnyshkov up in that wing in the Dorito Lane alley. Looking to play around the outside to get some shots in on Damian, put the pressure on him. Damian's going to have to stand up.
Yeah, also
it's going to get really small in there for him.
You can see Sergey on your screen right now. He's going to load his second to last pod, I think. And with 3 minutes and 17 seconds left, paint might become an issue. We'll see. Right now, though, Heat trying to work this body advantage and try to take ground, but Infamous not wanting to give any up, rolling those guns and trying to keep Heat honest.
Yeah, Corey Bornstein getting shot out of the back center, so just 3 bodies left alive now for Infamous. Mishka getting a check up in that center can. There's Sergei Solnyshkov. Here comes Mishka into the middle of the field. He's going to look to launch.
Oh, but Todd, a body drop, and it's Greg Sewers with his 9 confirmed kills. Comes off for Houston Heat. Here comes the move up the center. Mishka, did he make it? He's still alive. And he shoots Damian Ryan out. So Mishka's still alive over there and starting to chalk up kills. So it's just Alex Goldman and Brad McCurley here, snake side, with 2 minutes and 33 seconds left to go. McCurley makes his move to the back center. Here comes Goldman, makes his move to the snake.
And here comes Malloy running at Alex Goldman. Is he going to get Malloy? Malloy's going to get Goldman. Biernikov, is he alive? He is not alive. Brad McCurley is still alive.
But Brad McCurley might have got taken out, though, as he made his run out to the back corner.
McCurley is still alive, and there are 3 Houston Heat players still alive on the field right now. Mishka, Fedorov, and Sergey all spread across the field. There you see Fedorov on your screen. He's going to get his gun fixed before he goes and grabs the flag. And Brad McCurley unable to hide in that back corner pin.
So now, with Heat tying it up, Todd, the question becomes, can either one of these teams score a point within 1 minute and 47 seconds? Obviously, that is definitely enough time. And again, look for the kills off the break. That typically dictates the time of a point. However, can either one of these teams score a point, or are we going to be heading to overtime?
Yeah, I mean, wow, 147, Maddie. You know, a lot of long, drawn-out points, 2 and 3 minutes. You know, these teams both shooting really good lanes. I mean, Houston Heat's been shooting a lot of bodies on the break here lately, allowed themselves to get themselves back in this game. So, man, 4-4. Can't ask for much more than this for a pro champion finals.
So it looks like a timeout has been called as we get a look there in the pits. There's
Sam Monville, Chad Boucher cleaning guns for the Russians to get back out on the field. There's Big Sergey in the mix, getting kills, helping Heat get back in the game. There's Malloy, who just made that big move down the field to get Goldman.
Yeah, completely laying out for that one, but it ended up working out. So Houston Heat fighting back and scrapping to tie this game up at 4. And we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with more of this championship matchup. Welcome back here to the 2015 PSP Dallas Open Championship matchup. I'm Matty Marshall with Tom Martinez. Houston Heat and Los Angeles Infamous have played to a dead heat. It is 4-4 with 1 minute and 47 seconds to go. Infamous had called a timeout, and now on the breakout, both teams going up the center as usual, and look for those off-the-break shots and how many bodies drop. That will dictate whether or not we could potentially see an overtime point here, or if one of these teams is going to prevail. And Todd, it looks like both of these teams 5 strong right now.
Yep, and it looks like Infamous made a change. Instead of sending Callie Rudolph out to that Dorito side mini race, they're going to send Drew Templeton out there. Instead of sending Damian Ryan up into the can, he's up in the center tower right now. There's Mishka in the back center for Houston Heat. Sergey up in the middle in that tower. Fedorov in the snake side temple. Chad George breaking out to the snake side corner. And Greg Sewers again making it out wide in Drew Templeton's mirror. The mini race on the Dorito side.
Yeah, there's the back line for Houston Heat. Rather, actually, a conservative. I think that we're definitely going to overtime. I think both these teams came out, Todd kind of feeling it out, see if he can get those off-the-break kills. And then as soon as they saw it's 5-on-5, they're like, okay, let's just ride this out. We'll reset. We'll go into overtime with 3 minutes. It's a 3-minute overtime point. And if we can't determine a winner in 3 minutes, then we will head to a one-on-one shootout.
Oh man, a one-on-one shootout between these two teams?
Ooh, that would be nasty.
That would
and
be ridiculous.
Infamous not strangers to one-on-one shootouts, as they did one against Dynasty. Oh, looks like Brad McCurley getting shot out of his spot, but that's not going to matter, man. With only 15 seconds left to go here, that's going to do it for regulation time, and we will be heading to an overtime point. Under 5 now, and Fedorov rolling his gun. But it's not going to matter. So the horn's going to sound, and we're going to throw 3 minutes up on the clock. These teams will have another 2 minutes to get set, and then we will see an overtime point. And if no one wins that point, then we will go to one-on-ones here in the championship match. Couldn't ask for a closer game. And we talked about this, Todd, at the outset of this match, about how both of these teams were really hungry. Heat also did not have a good year last year. And Randy Smith, the owner, making extra sure that they were not going to do that again this year by going out and picking up the Russian Stars to add to their already awesome lineup. And then also Infamous doubled down this year too.
I don't see any paint coming on this one. No, it was behind him.
So
big money.
So there's Big Jason Chosen, who's done a good job of guiding the ship for the past couple years, or since the beginning. So heading into year 4 now.
Also, Tim Montresor.
He was also the coach of the Philly Americans, which was a winning team, which had Moorhead and Montresor on it.
I also had Fedorov and Jason Edwards.
Yep, Jason Edwards now leading the ship for Tampa Bay Damage.
Believe right now. Relax, believe, play the team.
So you can hear in the pits the intensity here for Houston Heat. Relax and believe is what they're saying. That's good advice. Relax and believe, because look, at this point, as deep as we are into the tournament, everybody knows what's going on. You know who's starting. You know who's coming out for this next point.
Russians and Sewers, McCurley, Damian, Goldman, Callie.
You know there's going to be guys running up in the center. I mean, nothing crazy is going to happen in this point. There's too much at stake. So it's going to be a traditional breakout, and then from there, it's going to be who wins gunfights. And the off-the-break shots, too. That's the key. Winning gunfights, and most importantly, off-the-break shots. Because if those work, then you may not have to win as many gunfights.
Yeah, looks like we got Bornstein coming on the field again as well, but Drew Templeton going to go in for Callie Rudolph again on that Dorito side for Infamous. So maybe Callie having a little trouble getting out there. They're going to go with that switch. Here's the beginning of the overtime point on the break.
And it looks like if we have 5 alive for both teams, we very well could see one-on-ones. And it looks...
Oh, man. Chad George got bounced going into the snake corner for Houston Heat, but no bodies drop on the break.
Well, Houston Heat doubling up that back center, so Fedorov or Mishka is going to have to eventually get out of there, but oh no, Drew Templeton getting shot out of his spot over on the D side of the field with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in this overtime period. So it's just Goldman, Bornstein, McCurley, and Ryan to try to keep Houston Heat from pushing forward. Houston Heat still doubling up that back center, Todd.
Yeah, and Houston Heat, they got good spacing right now as Sewers went over to the Dorito side corner instead of going to the little mini race bunker. Damian Ryan standing up tall. There's Sergey Soldyshkov surveying the field. Standing up tall, looking for kills on the snake side. Damian Ryan
There's the
trying
eye.
to lock off the snake side.
And there's your eye in the sky view, getting a look up at the field position here for each team. And now looking at Heat, there's Sergey and Fedorov. Fedorov finally getting out of that back center bunker and moving towards the D side. That's where he wants to launch his attack. It's a much faster side right now than the mud bog that is the snake.
Oh, and Brad McCurley gets shot as Alex Goldman shoots Chad George and then takes off and moves up a bunker. So 3 bodies left now alive for LA Infamous, 4 for Houston Heat. But Alex Goldman diving into the snake. He's going to come into snake 1, and he's going to have a lot of room to play with.
Oh, Goldman almost caught the back center bunker. I think he might have got him. No, he wasn't able to do it. But now Goldman, look at how far Goldman is up on the snake, past the 50-yard line. This might be the move that could win the tournament if Goldman can get some kills and catch some people sleeping, but also launching on the attack up that to the 50-yard line, Dorito. Goldman,
he gets 1.
Goldman
gets
breaking
1.
paint. Under a minute now, Todd.
Yep, under a minute. Alex Goldman up here past the snake. Corey Bornstein and Damian still alive. Goldman can get a shot on the 50 Dorito if he can get a straight ball out of his gun. There's Mishka and Sewers. Here comes Mishka up to the center tower where Sergey just got shot out of.
42 seconds.
3-on-3 ball game right now, 40 seconds.
Dang
And Mishka gonna get shot in the pack, backing up.
Look at this though,
Greg
Todd.
Sewers gonna come running all the way across the field.
Coast to coast. Can Goldman pick him up? I think he made it in there clean. And I think Goldman might have got shot. No, Goldman's still in there, but Greg Sewers able to make that coast-to-coast run.
25 seconds left. Is this the move that's going to make it Greg Sewers there in the back center?
I don't know. Sewers.
17 seconds left.
Sewers has to get his gun towards that
It's
inside.
a 3-on-1. And
And-
LA Infamous off the move by Alex Goldman.
And look at Alex Goldman on your screen, triumphant. What an amazing pickup for Los Angeles Infamous and a performance as Alex Goldman drops to his knees, eyes to the sky, victorious once again.
Oh my goodness, Maddie.
What an amazing
Just when
game.
it looked really, really bad for LA Infamous, they go down 5-on-3. Alex Goldman shoots Chad George out of the corner, calls his shot on the way to the temple, runs up, dives in the snake, comes across, shoots Sergey, and then shoots Mishka to win the game for LA Infamous.
What a huge performance by Infamous. They come into this event having a very terrible mid portion of a 2014 season. They won this event last year, and they were so confident at picking up a guy like Goldman, knowing what's possible out there, and proving it to himself, to the world, and to his teammates.
Oh my goodness, Maddie. A la Brad McCurley in overtime, but Infamous got that first win. Let's go to the pit.
Thanks for the help. Who do they fuck shot? It's Goldman all day, baby. Fuck yeah, man.
So a victorious Los Angeles Infamous spills out onto the field. And again, champions of the 2015 PSP Dallas Open. They won this event last year, and they need to be so proud of themselves right now. So much adversity they faced last season. And coming in against a very strong field. They played an amazing Houston Heat. They knew that this was not going to be an easy game, but somehow, some way, they ended up did not look good for them in that point. They lost bodies early.
Yeah, lost bodies, but Corey Bornstein made a really great fill once again, coming up huge. I cannot understate how important it was for Corey Bornstein and the way that he played this event. As big as Mouse was, making these huge moves and getting these kills, Corey Bornstein being so steady, so consistent, able to fill all the way out there to the Dorito side to keep that push from coming, as Mishka and Fedorov and Sewers were over there just looking to attack. And he comes out. That allows Alex Goldman a little bit more time. He wins that gun battle against Chad George and makes the big move down the snake to win it.
It's so interesting that the snake has been ignored for most of today's competition, and the majority of the action going on in the center and down that D side of the field. And every now and then, players would make it in the snake and make something glorious happen. And it just happened to be Alex Goldman, his stock and trade over the years, and how we got Paintball famous was getting in the snake and getting it done in big games and proving yet again what a top-notch competitor Alex Goldman is. But it's not just Goldman. Good, amazing team effort. Yes, Goldman did have 8 confirmed kills in this match, but Corey Bornstein stepped up all event long for them, as well as Damian Ryan and Brad McCurley. Yes, Brad McCurley did die early in that game, in that last point, but Damian Ryan was alive in that center, wheeling and dealing and making that Goldman move possible.
No, Maddie, time after time, this was a 100% team effort. Everybody contributed out there. Callie Rudolph was just killing people all event, winning games for LA Infamous down that Dorito side to help them get here. Corey Bornstein, the Rock that I just talked about. Damian Ryan coming up with huge point after huge point. And Alex Goldman, the most clutch player when the team needed it most, coming out here and getting a ton of kills and helping LA Infamous get that repeat victory here at the Dallas Open.
You know, Heat shouldn't hang their heads too low. Went all the way to overtime here with Infamous, and it took a special move to put them down. But I'll tell you what, man, Houston Heat has definitely rebuilt their roster. They look phenomenal here at this event. They're going to be a threat at every tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, just like we said before this game, how it takes a lot of these, being in a lot of these big games to learn how to win them consistently. LA Infamous, they have obviously reached that peak, and now they are going to be a contender every single event this season, just like you said. There you see them on the field popping that champagne, or as they like to pop them, Bud Lights. Dump all over the place. So this is the third win now for LA Infamous with this core since 2012.
Well, and the early favorites, obviously, as they win this one for the PSP Series title. The hardest thing to win in paintball, which was won last year by Edmonton Impact, and the year before that by San Diego Dynasty, is to win the overall series title. And they are definitely now in the running here. Also, Houston Heat in the running, too, with the second-place finish.
Yeah, Houston Heat, you know, they had a pretty rough year last year, but with the addition of all the Russians, they're obviously back here and in full effect. I mean, that game could have gone either way, but, you know, some heroics here by Alex Goldman. But that Houston Heat team, this is basically the same team that they had when they came into this league, but better. So
yeah, exactly. And that's a point that I think bears repeating. Not only are they better because they have Malloy on the team, they picked up Alexander Burnikoff, but also a lot of the guys surrounding them are also doing really well too. Ryan Smith had a really big, huge event here, and I think this is his breakout performance. So let's check in with Lauren Kelly with the victors.
Hey guys, I'm down here with your champs of the Dallas Open Infamous. Congratulations, guys. Travis, what was running through your mind during that overtime?
I was like, oh my, yeah. I was trying to keep it clean.
Did you guys think you were probably going to go into one-on-ones?
No, I knew we had this overtime. We always play to win.
Well, congratulations. Who do you want to thank?
No, who do you love?
We'd like to thank our sponsors, Empire Paintball, and we want to give a special shout out to Jerry Devereaux. Yeah, baby.
Congratulations, Infamous. You're back on top. We'll see you in Nashville.
Poor Lauren Kelly getting doused every single time that she has to go interview the winners, and gives us her frowny face. But yeah, congratulations again to Los Angeles Infamous and everybody that won today. We saw some crazy divisional matchups too, Todd. Not sure if we're going to see those highlights. Right now we're watching highlights here from that last point. Look at this. Let's watch Alex Goldman. This is what this is what redemption looks like.
Well put,
Look at
Maddie.
those eyes.
Well put.
You know, Goldman actually pondered retirement in the offseason, and I think he's probably going to thank himself maybe later on tonight, or maybe he's doing it right now, for actually not pulling the trigger on that.
Hey, he works hard. You know, there's a reason why he's able to do what he does out here. That guy works hard. He's 100%, 110% committed to being a professional paintball player and being the best at his craft. And when you put in that sort of effort and you have that sort of commitment and dedication, that's what happens to you out there.
Yeah, beautiful work.
Mark your calendars and get ready for the battle at the upcoming stops on the 2015 PSP Tour. The Nashville Open goes down May 1st through the 3rd. Mid-Atlantic Open June 18th through the 21st. The Chicago Open takes place August 7th through the 9th. And the biggest paintball tournament on earth, the PSP World Cup, runs October 15th through the 18th. Sign up your team now and get into the fight. Watch all the action on PSPEvents.com. You don't want to miss it.